This review is November 2019 Patron's Pick. You can vote in the next one at the link in the description down below. Pokemon, Kaiju, Dragon Ball, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews. Hey, hello there collectors, it's Steven here, and I am bringing you a Legend of Zelda review today. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Link Nendoroid from Breath of the Wild, and it's going to be specifically the DX version, but thankfully, the DX version is just going to be the standard one with some more accessories. So this one is going to be a little pricey, somewhere around the $60 or so mark, but of course, there's going to be some sales. And with Breath of the Wild being extremely popular, and of course it's Zelda, there are going to be some folks who are thinking about picking this one up, or trying to figure out if they want the standard or DX version. That's what this review is for. So let's take a look to see whether or not Link is worth adding into your collection. Overall, I do have to say that Link looks rather nice. When we take a look at any Nendoroid, generally speaking, they're able to make the heads look fantastic. You're able to see from this distance away that the paint application for the hair looks amazing. We have a rather nice shade of different browns used here to really bring out the nicer details in his hair. He does have the earrings, which are going to look pretty nice. No complaints there. And of course, we're going to have on both of the faceplates that we're going to get nicely applied decals, even with a dot matrix for the eyes, which looks good. Now, of course, he is going to have the different clothing that he has, whether it's going to be the shirt, the pants, boots, gloves, whatever. Now, for the paint application there, it does look rather fine, not necessarily perfect. The masking in some areas could be improved a little bit, but generally speaking, I do feel that this Link looks better than some of the more recent Nendoroids, and reflecting on some of the Links of the past, like the Wind Waker one or even Majora's Mask, I do feel like they were able to keep the paint contained in one area. I'm referencing the fact that the Wind Waker Link had some green on his hair, which wasn't necessarily great, and I did feel Majora's Mask paint could have been tightened up a little better, but regardless, this Link here does look rather good. So if you're a stickler for details, then congratulations, this one should check mark all of the boxes for a nice looking figure. Even though Nendoroids aren't necessarily noteworthy for their articulation, Link does have some points, but unfortunately Link is rather loose. Well, what do we have? Well, of course, there's going to be a Nendoroid-style swivel and hinge there for the neck, so this way you can twist and turn Link's head around, and hair does block it a little bit, but not too much. He is going to have shoulder swivels, which are easy to pop off, probably because of the accessories. He does have a bicep swivel and wrist swivel, which once again are easy to pop off. He does have a waist swivel, easy to pop off, and then we're going to have those same neck joints in the hips, which are, once again, easy to pop off. So if you're not a fan of, well, fiddly figures, well, unfortunately, this one is not going to be for you. Now we're going to talk about accessories, which is probably going to be the main drawing point, and to be honest, once you get all the fiddly stuff to actually stay in place, which is possible, this is where it's going to pay off. So here's everything that the standard edition comes with. So we're going to have an alternate faceplate. We are going to have the Sheikah slate, which is pretty sweet. We're going to have the sword, sheath, bow and arrow, shield. We are going to have alternate hand parts, arm parts, and leg parts. There is also the quiver, which I already showed you on Link's back, so that is neat to see. Now for the DX version, we're going to have all of that, but in addition, we are going to have the hooded extra head part. We are going to have a horse. We're going to have a club, a chicken leg, and an axe. Whoo, doggy. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the extra head part and faceplate, which once again, like I made mention, the extra faceplate does look just fine, and the details that are added onto the hood, they look fantastic. It's nice to see that the smaller details here look just fine, but then that does pull into question why they couldn't necessarily nail the smaller details on Link's body. Yeah. Now here's a look at Link's horse, and the horse is pretty cool. What's interesting about the horse is that there are a couple of parts which you can actually pop off. So all those bags on the back, they can be removed. And actually, the horse does have some points of articulation. So the head is going to plug in on a Nendoroid style swivel and hinge system, so that's cool. There's going to be one portion of hair on his back, which is going to be able to move as well. It's on the back of the head. He is going to have swivels at the front legs where they attach into the body and hinges at his knees. And then he is also going to have swivels for his hind legs as well. And guess what? Ball jointed tail. Now, Link can actually ride on this horse, which is pretty neat. So all you have to do is just remove the saddle and you just plop Link on. There's no real leg parts that you're going to need there. And then, of course, you may notice that there is a little hole on one of the bags. You can actually attach Link's accessories to the horse. Cool. Oh, one more thing about the horse. The leather straps that come off the bridle, they're actually upholstery. So, yeah, pretty nice attention to detail there. Now for the next section, Link comes with a whole bunch of other accessories, so we're going to kind of float on through them, okay? Okay, so Link does come with some extra arm parts and some extra hand parts. He's going to come with some parts, so this way he can actually hold the bow and arrow and make it look like he's firing the arrow, which is cool. He's going to come with alternate leg parts, so this way he can make it look like he's jumping, or as I showed you in the opening shot, he can make it look like he is going to be climbing up on a rock or whatever. And he's going to come with alternate hand parts, so this way he can hold the sword, the shield, the axe, and the club, and the chicken leg, which is pretty cool. So as you can see here, there's a whole bunch of different ways you can display Link and the different weapons. And yeah, they all look fantastic as we're taking a close-up look at the different weapons that he comes with. And this is always cool to see that we're going to have different ways that we can have Link use these weapons in any way we wish to display them. Now, the only sort of concern that I have is that, well, sometimes it's difficult to get Link to hold these weapons, as I made mention before, because if we take a look at the sword, for an example, it can be difficult for the sword to basically stay together. The sword likes to, well, disassemble at even looking at it funny. And sometimes it's difficult for him to hold the arrow in his hand, which he has one dedicated hand to hold it on his right hand, and you have to knock it just correctly, and yeah, it can be a little awkward once you attach it into the bow as well. Yeah. So here are action shots with him using everything if you want to take a look at how he can use everything. So this way, if you're really interested in maybe coming up with your own special display, you can do that as well. Now, something to take note of, Link can actually have the shield and the sheath for his sword on his back, and there's a special way that you're going to have to do this. You're going to have to pop the handle off of the shield because he doesn't slip his arm underneath a strap or anything like the Figmas do, and then there's a little gold button that's on the shield. You're going to have to pop that off as well. There is a hole in the sheath for the sword, similar to the Majora's Mask Link, but thankfully it's not a super small hole where you're going to scratch the paint, like the Majora's Mask Link. And then what you're going to have to do is just fish the Nendoroid support stand, which does come with the figure, and push it into his back, and you are good to go. And you can pose Link however you want. Also of note for the support stand, the horse comes with one as well. So that's my way to sort of sum up the accessories in a non-super lengthy way, even though now we're approaching the 8 or so minute mark. Whew, yeah. There was a lot to cover there. So if you're really interested in your Link display, definitely the DX accessory set here is going to be what you want to go with. And do keep in mind, you're not going to be able to buy these extra. You're going to want to go just for the DX release. But of course, maybe you want Link to scale a terrain. Maybe you want some extra accessory parts like a fire effect, or maybe even have him cross over water. I don't know. It's your choice. I have videos to help you out with finding extra effect parts. Now we're going to go ahead and move right on over to a size comparison alongside the Nendoroid Guardian, because of course, if we're going to have Link, we're probably going to want to have an enemy as well. So here you go. The Guardian's small, but we're focusing on Link here. Link looks just fine. So, buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. Overall, the DX version is absolutely worth the money, and to be frank, I don't quite understand why they released the DX version and the normal version when the DX version is so much more worth the money than the standard version, because I can't imagine getting the standard version and thinking to myself, I really wish this Link had an axe. Yeah, but hey, not knocking you if you do buy it. Just my own personal thoughts there. Overall, the issues that we do have are going to be maybe they could have tightened up the paint application and he's a bit fiddly, but overall we have plenty of different ways to display this Link. And what's even better is that I do believe Zelda is coming with the proper Master Sword, and the Nendoroid Guardian is coming with a different bow, which is great as well. So even if you get the DX version, there are going to be more accessories they will include later on. Yeah, overall, this is a fun purchase, but it does have a few drawbacks. Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now, you've heard a lot from me. I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for SDR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand selected for you, so if you want to watch another STR video, I hand selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.